Hi friends, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm Luisa, and in today's video we're gonna talk about an exciting topic which a lot of you have asked me about, which is studying abroad. Specifically, I want to share my experience applying to study abroad at 18 in Europe and the US. And I'm really excited because this video is my first sponsored video, so thanks to Global Admission for sponsoring this video, but more on that later. If you're interested about studying abroad, make sure to like, subscribe and leave any question you have throughout the video here in the comment section, because I want to share everything I learned this past year, so I'm gonna be doing a lot of videos about this topic. First, let's start with a little background about me. I'm Luisa, I'm 18, I'm from the south of Italy, and I applied to study abroad in 5 countries, and I'm going to study in the Netherlands at Maastricht University. I'm going to study data science and artificial intelligence. So this whole process was all really confusing and frustrating, and I definitely had a lot of anxiety attacks throughout these years. This is why I think today's sponsors is really helpful. So let me tell you more about the Global Admission. Thank you to Global Admission for sponsoring this video. The reason why I want to recommend you Global Admission is because this whole process of applying abroad is really stressful and daunting, and you get to spend a lot of time figuring out things online, how to apply, what documents do you need from that country, how is that application for the process for the other. So this is where Global Admission comes in, which is a free online platform that allows international students to apply to international universities, and you have a great support from their international team. Also, on their website you can find a lot of helpful content about university and to help you guide your either educational journey. And that's why I wanted to recommend it. On your website you can also sign up and receive scholarship updates and book a free call. So make sure to check out the link in bio and their socials. And yeah, I hope you find it really helpful. I wish they launched the platform when I was starting my application journey, but you know, I'm glad to recommend it to you guys. And now, without further ado, let's get into this story, because it's a long one. My whole wanting to study abroad started in 2019 when I came back from London from a family trip. So I was there, and it was a particular time in my life, and I begged my mom and my parents to go to London for like 2 years now, and we finally did it. And once I was there, I was so fascinated by the old city and the old open mentality of the city and open-mindedness. And so when I came back, I was like, I want to study abroad. I'm definitely studying abroad. So I started figuring out where were the steps I needed to take to fulfill that dream. And step 1 was become fluent in English. And this was like the most difficult part, at least for me, because when I was there, I had like a B1 level of English, but I couldn't like communicate. I tried, I couldn't. 1, because I was shy, and 2, I really didn't have a lot of vocabulary in me. So I started out my English language journey. From there, 2 years of work. I've explained my whole method in this video, and I'm gonna be doing a more in-depth video in the next few months, so stay tuned for that. But yeah, essentially that method brought me from B1 to C1 in 2 years, where I gave my Cambridge advanced exam in 2020. And yeah, and that was like, I wanted to take the C1, because after a little bit of research I saw that some university asked for a B2, some for a C1. So I initially enrolled for a B2 exam, and then with the pandemic they got postponed, and then I asked to be signed up for a C1, and I did it, and I passed it with a grade B, which what I wanted, and you can also hear more about this story here. And that was the first step. And I initially, you know, with London, I wanted to study in London, but then in 2019 also I attended an assembly at my school with a couple of girls who were studying in Scotland. They told me about this whole governmental scheme for European students, which made them pay really low taxes for the tuition fees. And I was intrigued, so I started, you know, researching, and I found the University of Edinburgh, which I fell in love with. And during the first lockdown here in Italy, I was, you know, dreaming about studying in Scotland. But then we know that Brexit happened, and all these old benefits for European students got taken away, and I found myself, you know, a little bit disappointed, a lot of disappointed. I needed to figure out what I was gonna do next, because I hadn't researched anything else. So I started searching up affordable universities abroad in Europe, and the first country that came up was Denmark, which offers free tuition fees for all European students for both bachelors and masters, if you're interested, if you're more advanced in your university journey. So then I started looking up universities, and I found one I really like, which was the IT University of Copenhagen, and I set my eyes on that university, and I really liked the course and the possibility, the opportunities that provided the university. But then I thought, if Denmark is offering free university, what other countries are offering really low tuition fees? And I actually found out, I read about Germany, that also has really low tuition fees for European students, but at that time in my life I was so fixed, also applying to UK universities and getting a scholarship, that I really paid much attention to other opportunities, and there are a lot of things I wish I had done, and I want to make also a video about that. But yeah, I looked up, I saw that Germany also had the option, but I didn't end up applying. I don't know why. And when I wanted to apply, the deadline was already over. Sorry, my camera died for a moment, but I'm back. As I said, the thing with European universities is that the deadline is all around January, and for Italy, like, we think about uni like in the summer after our last year of high school, so I had to thought about this really early on. In fact, I started my whole process in August of before the start of my last year of high school. I done the vlog here if you wanted to check it out. But yeah, and then I also started looking up Irish universities, because I heard that the tuition fees were lower in Ireland for European students, and I really like Trinity College Dublin, so I was also looking that up. But then after talking with a friend of mine who actually studies in Dublin, I found out that Dublin is actually really expensive for my kind of budget, so I didn't finish my application. But I started it. I know all about the process, so if you're interested I can talk about that, but I didn't finish, I didn't submit my final transcript of grades now that I had it. And for that also the deadline was like January, February, so one thing to keep in mind is that, so if you're watching this now, I would advise to start researching and having an idea what you want to do and where you want to go, and research through, because one thing I also wish I'd done is I looked up also other countries, because like Sweden, Finland, Norway, I know they all have don't have tuition fees like Denmark, but I guess with all the I don't know, I really felt overwhelmed, and so I wasn't doing it on my own, so no one guided me, and so I got fixed on certain countries that I really liked, but I definitely could have researched more. And I think the thing that really got most of my attention was my UK application, and because I really wanted to study in the UK, even with Brexit I tried to apply because I wanted to know if I could get in, and I was really hoping to get a scholarship. but that didn't happen, spoiler. So I wish I maybe invested more time in researching also other universities, but you know, it is what it is. What it's meant to be for me is gonna arrive, so I'm really happy actually with the choice I end up making. For now, I might change my mind, who knows, this is life. I started my official application process in November, December. Might be a little bit late, but you know, with all life was hectic in these past couple months. I was head girl, I had a lot of responsibilities, but yeah, I've bring myself together to do my personal statement, my motivation letters, find my referee, find my grades of transcript, see if I can find a translator, and you know, setting up various profiles on all the different platforms, because every country had a different platform, you know. For UK there was I forgot, UCAS, then COW for Ireland, StudyLink for the Netherlands, and another one for the Danish, for Denmark, for Danish universities, I can't remember now. Yeah, and then I got that all set up, and I think I've submitted all my application around mid-January, maximum early February for like Ireland, I think. And then in March 2022, I randomly heard on the television the word as like a TV spot about Maastricht University, and I got intrigued. I looked up the website, I found the course, I really liked the course, and then I looked up when was the deadline. For European students it was the 1st of May, so I was like, I mean, at this point, why not applying to another country? And so I did apply to Maastricht University, and also in the same period in March I got COVID, and then that's when I also found Minerva University. We actually already like kind of heard about, thanks to NJD Jade, but I didn't know that the application process was different and that it was still open. So I tried to apply when I had COVID. Now, that wasn't my strong application, I just applied because I was bored. I was like, why not? I mean, but I didn't ended up getting an offer. But yeah, I wasn't gonna be able to afford a life in America anyway. It was just for fun, and I mean, it's been my philosophy lately, just apply to things. You don't know what opportunity you might get. So I think I got first one from Edinburgh Napier University. Yes, you can see the reaction years. And yeah, and then I got an offer from 3 UK universities, which was Edinburgh Napier University and University of St Andrews, which I'm really proud actually of that offer. It was the one I was hoping to get a scholarship, but at some points I thought I'd never get in, so I'm really proud of that. And I got an offer for sustainable development, which is like a weird thing that happened there, because I applied for computer science, but my personal statement, which is the an essay you have to write about yourself, about your passions, your hobbies, and what you want to do in the future, your academic involvement and stuff like that. And I can also do a video about that if you want, on how to write a personal statement. And yeah, that my personal statement was really sustainability focused, because if you know me from my days as Eco with Luisa, you know what I mean. And so I got an offer for sustainable development, and then I got an offer from the University of Bristol for computer science. They were all conditional offers. You had to get a 95 out of 100 at my last high school exam, which is called Maturita, which I actually got because I got 100 out of 100. But yeah, and then I got rejected from the University of Edinburgh, which actually rejected me for lack of documentation, which I don't know what happened there, because my teacher, my referee, was supposed to send the grades, and she said she sent it, so I don't know what happened there. But I did want to know if I could get in, because it was the first uni I was like, I wanted to go there. And then I got rejected from UCL, University College London, which was, I know, was really difficult to get in. I was a little bit bummed. At that point I'd already received my conditional offer from Maastricht University, so I was good. And yeah, in fact, the university in the Netherlands, at least for Maastricht University, I received a reply, like a kind of conditional offer almost instantly after a couple of weeks, and it just said that I needed to prove that I got a diploma from a scientific high school in Italy. And there was a little bit of mix up there because my school is both linguistic, language and scientific science subjects, so they thought I was from a linguistic school, language school, and they said I had to do an exam to prove my level of mathematics, which was really important for them. It is really important for the kind of course I chose. But then I explained that I actually do a scientific thing, and they said I just needed to end in my diploma and transcript or grades when I had them, because to apply you had to submit your level of English, my European identity card, and my transcript, my latest transcript of grades. I don't know how they assess them, like what was the minimal requirement, because it was actually really spontaneous as an application. But I think for like Dutch universities it's not really that difficult to get in terms of grades, but you know, to stay in is really difficult from what I understand, and I'm gonna, if you subscribe you're gonna see it, because I'm starting my Uni Diaries series, Maastricht Diaries series soon, so yeah. And yeah, and I also heard like for other universities they also ask you to make a CV or motivational letter, which is actually really common. Like also Danish university asked me to write one. I wrote for 2 courses out of 3 motivational for Denmark, then a personal statement for UK universities. Irish university ask you only grades, and Dutch university I just told you how it works. But I can make a whole like in-depth video, all the steps, all the deadlines, how you should prepare, how you can write a good personal statement and a good motivational letter. So let me know that if you want to see that in the comments. But yeah, so then I got you know, my conditional offer from Maastricht, and I started evaluating, you know, because at that point I also got the rejection from Minerva University, but yeah, I expected it. At that point I was more like I had a conditional offer from Maastricht University, and then I had to wait to get my offers from the Danish universities. And the reply, it's the reply date for Danish university is really late. Like it was on the 20th of July, which I can actually insert here the clip or when I got my offer. And the way it works in Denmark is that you set out your preferences. Also at the Irish universities you set out like you chose 10 universities, and then if you don't get in they keep on going down. And in Denmark you chose 8 universities and they keep going down. But since I had to write motivational letters and I only wanted to apply to the ones I knew I wanted to go, so I applied only to 3, and I got in my first choice, and here's the clip. But at that point I was already considering, you know, like Copenhagen, this Maastricht University is a really good university. On the rankings it was way better than IT University of Copenhagen. Copenhagen is way more expensive as a city as Maastricht, even though being from the south of Italy, both of them are really expensive for the for the salary here. And yeah, I kept evaluating between the 2 cities, and then I ended up choosing Maastricht, because also like July is really late, at least for me, finding an accommodation in a month. I don't know, that really stresses me out. So I was like, I have the offer from Maastricht University and I can already start looking at rooms, which I did, and it was a painful process. I can't imagine going through that in July. Like, that must be horrible, like not knowing where you're gonna like sleep in a month. So yeah, and I got that too. This was a little bit roughly my whole experience studying abroad at 18. Like, I know it's a bit like confusing as I have explained it, but yeah, it was like my personal experience, first time going to university in my family, first of my like family trying to go abroad. So I learned a lot through this experience, and I want to share everything I learned with you. So leave them in the comments, everything, literally every question, every kind of video you want me to go through, and yeah, and I'll make them. Thank you so much to Global Admissions for sponsoring this video. Truly guys, check it out. I think it's a useful resource, and I wish I could have used it for me a year ago. But yeah, but I'm glad it exists for you guys now, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye!